Hi, I'm Alex D, and I want to welcome you to a new YouTube channel called Peak Performance Reviews. We're new to YouTube, and we're going to have an Instagram page as well. Obviously I'm going to put them down here, and you can like or subscribe to any of those videos. Hopefully the more videos we bring you, the more likes and subscribers we're going to get. Hopefully you'll like our videos, but obviously it's in time we're going to add as many videos as we can from the likes of anything from front wheel drive, all wheel drive to rear wheel drive, anything from low cost cars to really expensive supercars. We're going to do lots of different things for you guys, and hopefully you're going to have lots of fun with that. Here on an absolutely beautiful sunny day in England, as you would expect, and we're here today with the ST180 current shape Ford Fiesta ST 180. The variant we've got here is the ST3, and actually it has a TRC front lip. It does have some upgrades on it, but not too much. It also has the iBack Pro spring kit, which actually you can still retain the factory warranty with, and we'll talk a little bit more about them later on in the review. Other than that, the car is pretty much standard, or is standard, and it's on a standard map, so performance in terms of acceleration, top speed at the moment is exactly the same as pretty much standard. So other than the handling, again, we'll pick up on that when we go into the review a little bit later in the show. So yeah, hopefully you'll like and subscribe our videos, and yeah, obviously catch and check out what we're doing on hopefully a fairly regular basis, and yeah, we'll bring you lots of different reviews. But now we're going to go and test drive the car. We're going to talk and let you know what we think of the car. So it might be a car that you might be thinking about getting in the future, and yeah, we'll give you our general consensus on what we think about the car. Thank you. Okay, so onto the test drive. So we're out in the Ford Fiesta ST 180, and we're out in the ST3 version, so it's the fairly spec'd up version. So yeah, we're just going to basically see what we think of the drive. Immediately, the first thing you can basically feel about the car is that for such a little car, and such a relatively low cost car, I'd say, it's such a tight, taut little car. It feels almost like a little race car, but not quite. But it's yeah, fairly bumpy, not too harsh, not too bumpy to probably live with every day. I mean, I've driven this car a lot more than just today on this test drive, so yeah, by and large, to kind of use on a daily basis, it's a relatively comfortable enough car. It's a little bit tight, a little jumpy, but nothing to kind of write home about. I think I could live with this every day. Yeah, turning is absolutely pin sharp, and I don't think you'll find much of a better car in the way of turning and response and initial grip. Bridgestone tyres, which this one's got on out the factory, are pretty good. They're pretty damn good little tyres actually. So far, thumbs up on the grip levels. We're actually out on a relatively damp day today, so I can kind of tell you what it feels like in the damp conditions. Yeah, it's relatively cold, relatively damp, but yeah, grip levels are good. Okay, so we're obviously in the ST3 model, has quite a few extras over the ST1, the ST2. It is quite a considerable amount more money. I think they go up in stages of around £1,500 per extra variant. So the ST1 comes in at around £16,500 on the road. The ST2 variant comes in at around 18,500, I think. And this model, I think, spec'd up with the style pack also, which it's got on, comes in at around 21,000, or just a shade over 21,000 again, also because it's got the metallic blue paint. If you've got standard paint, I think the difference in costs is about, I think it's £400 or £500 upgrade. I'd have to check on that. we can obviously give you a link in the bio and probably tell you a bit more about the recommended retail price and what they kind of go for. I'm sure if you go into a dealer with the cash, they can struck up a bit of a deal for you. People always hear this same continual thing about people financing cars and everyone giving someone grief about financing a car. If you can afford to finance a car, £200-300, whatever it may be, and you've got a house or whatever else other expenses you've got in your life, why not finance a car? Getting a brand new car is a very nice thing. You've got the warranty as well, factory warranties that come with these things. And to be fair, I can understand why people do go out and have PPI, have hire purchase. Don't get me wrong, if you've got £17,000 or £22,000 and you can buy a car outright, of course, yeah, go ahead and buy a car outright. But there's some good deals out there, so you should check those out. Don't ever rule that out. If you've got enough money and you know physically you've got enough money, nothing wrong with financing the car within the realms of what you can afford, really. And talking a bit more about that in terms of value for money, I mean, this car is fantastic. You are not going to get a lot more for your money than this car. It really has. I mean, lovely exhaust note out of the factory. Again, raughty kind of sounds. Like I say, virtually standard, completely standard note that you get from the factory. A lot of people, or a few people, complain about the apparent synthesizer, which is Ford's way of kind of introducing a bit of sound into the cockpit. I believe on the Focus it is almost a more fabricated fake sound, a bit like the Leon Cupra, which plays the kind of exhaust sound or a sound of the engine through the speakers, and it's a fake sound. The synthesizer on the Ford Fiesta ST 180, I believe, is it's actually a note that's basically pushed back into the cabin through the little synthesizer, which is obviously produced on boost. So, and I'm told it's actually not a fake sound; it's a real sound that basically comes through the synthesizer. It just kind of actuates it a little bit, and yeah, it's quite enjoyable. It's quite a nice note. You get the flutters of the kind of wastegate. And the little kind of blow-off sound, which is quite nice, a bit like the kind of sounds that you'd get from a modified car. Which I like, because at the end of the day, what you won't know about me is I'm very, very into my modified car scene and modifying cars. So it's quite a nice note to have from a factory car. Gives it a little bit of kind of character. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Onto a bit more of the drive again. Cold day, acceleration from this out of the factory is great. Something to note is the torque figure. We've got a horsepower figure of 180 horsepower and 214 foot-pounds of torque, which is quite a substantial amount of torque actually from a little 1.6 litre EcoBoost motor. Great motor, both one in sound and also in build. From what I'm hearing from some of the modifiers in these cars, it's not unknown to get 300 or 350 horsepower out of a car with standard internals, which is quite incredible actually. Even also with a factory clutch as well. Gearbox and the clutch seems to be able to take that kind of horsepower. I'm not saying it will last, forever with that kind of amount of horsepower and torque, but it's actually pretty impressive. One other thing to note is everyone always says about 180 brake horsepower. The car produces 180 brake horsepower. It does on overboost. It produces 200, so it's 200 brake horsepower and 214 foot-pounds of torque. Basically, overboost function. As soon as you put your foot to the floor, full throttle, you you get 200 horsepower, and it's apparently for something like 14 seconds. So in gear, in every single gear, really you are getting the full 200 horsepower, 214 foot-pounds of torque, which for a factory car is absolutely superb. These can be upgraded to a mount tune upgrade, which can give you up to, I think, 215 horsepower and about a torque figure of about 249 foot-pounds of torque, I believe, which really does apparently make these cars a lot more livelier. But there is lots of other different makes and manufacturers of engine tuning, so you can get different types of tuning as well. You've got Puma Speed, Jam Sport do that. You've also got Revo Tune, so there's quite a lot of different companies that do tuning for these cars. They can take figures up to, it's not unheard of hearing figures anywhere from your 215 horsepower stage 1 up to what I'm hearing is about 250 horsepower out of one of these motors, before you need to think about changing basically the turbocharger, which does start to cost quite a bit of money. Okay, so general consensus of this car is, yeah, it is as good as a lot of people say. It's a fantastic car. It grips and goes. It's punches well above its weight. Grip levels are amazing. And would I buy one? Yeah, most definitely. I've been lucky enough to also have this car out on track, and it's absolutely fantastic. Again, a feature that we are going to start to try and do actually is to take cars out on track, put them through their paces so you guys can see, and give you guys some kind of ideas of what kind of times they're doing on the same track, basically, so we can kind of get a fair comparison over, you know, what car is doing the kind of times it should be doing, what times it's other cars that are in its kind of category are doing, and where it kind of basically places it in that kind of league table as such. Of course, obviously money is a key issue for a lot of people. It needs to be good value. This car, for all the things it needs to do, ticks all the boxes without a shadow of a doubt. It's quick, it's fun, it's relatively practical. You could use it every day. It's relatively small, but I don't think it really matters unless you've got, I don't know, 5 kids or something. But yeah, for everyday use, for something that's a bit of fun that you can take out on track, that you can enjoy daily, it ticks the boxes, I think. So it's such a punchy, torquey little motor, completely out of the factory. It's absolutely superb. It's a great little car. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about the interior like we discussed earlier on. Again, this is an ST3 model, so it's probably about as spec'd up as they can go. It also has the style pack, which I'll kind of talk you through as well. Obviously, first of all, factory Recaro seats, absolutely superb, really supportive, very comfortable, and they look, I think, beautiful. With a bit of leather in there, they are, like I say, really supportive, and they're a lovely design. And actually, again, for a car of this price, I think they're you get a lot for your money. With an ST3 model, you also get these seat warmers. These ones out of the factory from the Recaro seats are absolutely superb. They heat up so quick, and when it's cold, believe me, it's a lovely feature to have on these cars. So you can you've got 2 heat settings. They're so quick, and it keeps you lovely and warm if it's cold. So yeah, great feature. Obviously, traction control, you can put it onto a sport mode and you can have it completely off. If you hold that for 5 seconds, it can be taken completely off. So you can have more fun with this car if you need it. On track, obviously, it's great to have that completely off. If you want to have a bit of fun and you just want to put it in sports mode, just a quick click of that, and you're in sports mode, and that's also a lot of fun. Still retains a bit of the traction control settings, and that's great to have that on board. Obviously aircon out of the factory, every single model has that. I think this one also has, I believe, heated wing mirrors. It also has automatic lights, like heat seaters, like heat warmers, like I said. And yeah, it's a lot of spec for the money. This model also has the ST style pack, which gives you these lovely kind of illuminated side sills. It also has, and I'll show you, it also has the painted caliper, and it also has the kind of anthracite coating colour on the alloys. I think it's only about 250 or 295 pound upgrade, so it's actually a very good upgrade to have. I think future proof, when you go to resell, I think it'll be quite a nice feature to have on there for very little money. Again, styling of this car, I think most people will agree that it's a really nicely equipped car. It looks really nice. It's not too aggressive, but I like that. Some people want a car to look a bit more aggressive. I mean, if you look at the Vauxhall Corsa VXR, it's probably styled a little bit more aggressive. This one's a little bit more sensible. It still looks as though it's going to be quite good. Ford have done pretty well with the styling on this, I do think. If we go to the front, you'll see that it's got LED lights and daytime running lights again out of the factory. Again, as we spoke about earlier on, it's got the TRC front lip. Again, we'll put a link in the bio to basically tell you a bit more about where you can probably get these extra parts on. Putting something like that on your car is not going to affect the warranty. Don't take my word for that, but it's not going to cause the car to blow an engine or anything like that. So just going on to more about the interior of this car. Again, in the dark, when illuminated with the style pack, this does look, like I say, a really nice car. One of the other features obviously on the car that I didn't talk about on an ST3, and only the ST3, is the Sat-Nav. And actually it's got a really nice little Sat-Nav. It's quite easy to use, and it's actually a really decent Sat-Nav. Again, I won't put nothing in there, but rest assured it's actually a really good little Sat-Nav. Comes with European maps, so obviously if you are driving anywhere in around Europe, it will look after you. And yeah, I say it's an extra good little feature for the money. This car comes pretty much ram-packed with a lot of features that you'd probably expect on a £30,000 motor. So yeah, a lot of car for the money. Right, so we're at the end of the video. Obviously we've run out of light, it's got a bit dark, so we had to stop. But yeah, we're pretty much done for the day. So I just wanted to say, obviously, thank you for watching our peak performance review in our first video. Hope you liked it, hope you enjoyed it. Any feedback that you guys have got for us, obviously we welcome that. Positive as you can. Also really a case of any particular car that you can think of you'd like us to kind of review. We like to get your thoughts on what you'd like to see us review next, really. So any ideas of cars that you kind of want us to review, can be anything from a cheap car to a really expensive car. Obviously we will actively go out to try and ask the manufacturers if we can borrow their cars and drive their cars. And yeah, obviously what you guys want to look at, we want to look at as well. So leave your comments, like and subscribe to our video, like and subscribe our page, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed our peak performance review today, and we'll join you again soon. Thanks a lot.